Earthquakes are among the most terrifying natural disasters ever created by the Earth. In just a few short minutes, energy that has been accumulating deep beneath the ground for hundreds of years can be suddenly released, shaking the entire planet, submerging cities, wiping out villages, and claiming the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. When the epicenter of a major earthquake lies beneath the ocean floor, the disaster becomes many times more devastating. That is when a tsunami is born. These colossal walls of water, rising tens of meters high and traveling at jet-like speeds, can cross entire oceans and strike lands located thousands of kilometers from the epicenter. Human history has recorded numerous catastrophic tsunamis, leaving behind trauma and fear that have lasted for generations. In today's video, we will look back at the top 10 largest earthquakes in history, ranked from lowest to highest magnitude. To better understand the sheer destructive power of nature, and why humanity must always remain humble in the face of the Earth's immense strength.
Top 10, Indian Ocean, 2012, 8.2 to 8.6 magnitude. Opening the list is a series of powerful earthquakes ranging from 8.2 to 8.6 magnitude, which occurred on April 11, 2012, off the coast of the Indian Ocean near Banda Aceh, Indonesia. Although it did not result in a catastrophic tsunami like the one in 2004, it remains one of the strongest offshore earthquakes ever recorded in modern history. The tremors were so intense that they were clearly felt across multiple countries in Southeast Asia. Immediately after the earthquakes, high-level tsunami warnings were issued, forcing millions of coastal residents to evacuate in fear and uncertainty. Fortunately, due to the unique fault mechanisms and the direction in which the energy was released, the resulting tsunami waves did not reach destructive heights. Human casualties and property damage were minimal. However, this event served as a stark reminder that under slightly different conditions, a disaster on the scale of 2004 could have happened once again. Top 9, Aleutian Islands, United States, 1946, 8.6 magnitude. Ranked at top 9 is the 8.6 magnitude earthquake that struck the Aleutian Islands in the North Pacific on April 1, 1946. Despite its remote epicenter, this disaster generated one of the farthest-traveling tsunamis ever recorded. The massive waves raced across the ocean at speeds of up to 800 kilometers per hour, covering nearly 4,000 kilometers and reaching the Hawaiian Islands in just 5 hours. There, the tsunami destroyed numerous coastal structures and claimed the lives of 159 people. Even more astonishing, on Unimak Island, close to the epicenter, the tsunami run-up was recorded at an incredible 42 meters, a staggering height even by today's standards. The tsunami's effects were felt as far away as Antarctica, highlighting the immense and far-reaching power of undersea seismic disasters. Top 8, Assam, India, 1950, 8.6 magnitude. At top 8 is the 8.6 magnitude earthquake that struck Assam, India, on August 25, 1950, caused by the violent collision between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. This was one of the most powerful inland earthquakes ever recorded in history. The intense shaking completely destroyed 70 villages, killing more than 1,500 people in India alone. However, the most devastating consequences occurred in Tibet, where massive landslides caused entire mountainsides to collapse, sweeping villages into rivers below. The death toll in Tibet is estimated at around 3,300 people. Although this earthquake did not generate a large ocean-wide tsunami, it clearly demonstrated that when tectonic energy is released, the destruction on land can be just as catastrophic. Top 7, Rat Islands, Alaska, United States, 1965, 8.7 magnitude. Ranked at top 7 is the 8.7 magnitude earthquake that struck the Rat Islands in 1965, part of Alaska's Aleutian volcanic island chain. This region lies directly along the boundary between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, making it highly prone to powerful seismic activity. The earthquake generated a tsunami with waves exceeding 10 meters in height on Shemya Island, located more than 300 kilometers from the epicenter. Remarkably, the tsunami traveled as far as Hawaii, over 4,200 kilometers away, where waves reached heights of approximately 1 meter. Fortunately, due to the sparse population and timely warnings, no deaths or serious injuries were reported. Nevertheless, scientists consider this event a chilling reminder of the destructive potential of offshore earthquakes along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Top 6, Chile, 2010, 8.8 magnitude. At top 6 is the 8.8 magnitude earthquake that struck offshore central Chile on February 27, 2010, near the coastal city of Concepcion. It remains one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded in modern history. The shaking lasted for nearly 3 minutes and was strong enough to be felt more than 4,600 kilometers away, as far as São Paulo, Brazil. The earthquake triggered a tsunami that struck multiple coastal regions of Chile and caused damage to ships across the Pacific. The aftermath was devastating. At least 521 people were killed, more than 12,000 injured, dozens went missing, and approximately 800,000 people were displaced. Although early warning systems helped reduce casualties, the 2010 Chile earthquake vividly demonstrated the immense destructive force unleashed when tectonic energy is released. Top 5, Severokurilsk, Russia, 1952, 9.0 magnitude. Ranked at top 5 is the 9.0 magnitude earthquake that struck the town of Severokurilsk in 1952, located in Russia's Kuril Islands. This volcanic region lies between Japan and the Kamchatka Peninsula, an area known for intense seismic activity. After the initial earthquake, residents managed to evacuate to higher ground in time. However, when the shaking subsided, many returned to their homes, believing the danger had passed. That was when the true disaster began. A massive 18-meter-high tsunami suddenly crashed ashore, sweeping away the entire town and killing nearly half of Severokurilsk's population. In the aftermath, the town was permanently relocated to higher ground, serving as a tragic lesson about the dangers of underestimating post-earthquake tsunami risks. Top 4, Tohoku, Japan, 2011, 9.1 magnitude. Ranked at top 4 is the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, the strongest earthquake ever recorded in Japan's history. The disaster struck on March 11, 2011, with its epicenter located offshore to the northeast of Honshu Island. The earthquake was so powerful that it shifted the Earth's axis by 10 to 25 centimeters, while Honshu Island moved more than 2.4 meters eastward. However, the most devastating impact came from the tsunami, with waves reaching heights of up to 40 meters, easily overtopping even the strongest seawalls. More than 22,000 people were killed or went missing. Most tragically, the failure at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant led to radioactive leaks, causing long-term environmental and health consequences. The Tohoku disaster remains one of the most painful and haunting tragedies of the 21st century. Top 3, Sumatra, Indonesia, 2004, 9.1 to 9.3 magnitude. Ranking at top 3 is the offshore Sumatra earthquake in Indonesia in 2004, the worst natural disaster of the 21st century. With a magnitude ranging from 9.1 to 9.3, this was the strongest earthquake ever recorded in Asia. The epicenter lay deep beneath the Indian Ocean, triggering a massive tsunami over 30 meters high. The waves spread at terrifying speed and struck the coastlines of 14 countries within just a few hours. Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, and Thailand suffered the most severe devastation. The consequences were catastrophic. Approximately 228,000 people lost their lives, millions were left homeless, and entire coastal communities were completely wiped out. The 2004 Sumatra disaster not only shocked the world, but also forced coastal nations to establish a global tsunami warning system to help prevent similar tragedies in the future. Top 2, Alaska, United States, 1964, 9.2 magnitude. Ranked at top 2 is the 9.2 magnitude earthquake that struck Alaska on March 27, 1964, the strongest earthquake ever recorded in U.S. history. The tremors lasted nearly 5 minutes, violently shaking vast areas. The city of Anchorage, despite being more than 120 kilometers from the epicenter, suffered severe damage as buildings collapsed and roads and coastlines subsided. The earthquake also triggered tsunamis across the North Pacific, causing damage to many coastal regions. In total, 128 people were killed, and economic losses were estimated at around $311 million, an enormous figure at the time. Although the death toll was relatively low compared to its scale, the 1964 Alaska earthquake remains a powerful reminder of the near-absolute destructive force unleashed when tectonic plates collide. Top 1, Valdivia, Chile, 1960, 9.5 magnitude claiming the top 1 position, and standing as the strongest earthquake ever recorded in human history, is the Valdivia disaster in Chile in 1960, with a staggering magnitude of 9.5. The earthquake struck on May 22, 1960, and lasted about 10 minutes, causing massive geological deformation along Chile's coastline. Entire areas subsided, cities were destroyed, and many coastal communities vanished completely. The quake generated enormous tsunamis that spread across the Pacific Ocean, striking Chile, Hawaii, Japan, and many other regions. Approximately 5,700 people were killed, and millions were left homeless. As if that were not enough, just 2 days later, the Cordon Col volcano erupted violently due to seismic activity, turning the Valdivia disaster into an unprecedented chain of natural catastrophes in Earth's history. And that concludes the top 10 largest earthquakes in human history, disasters that left indelible scars and painful lessons about humanity's fragility in the face of nature's immense power. Each number represents not only seismic intensity, but also millions of lives, families, and memories forever altered across generations. Which disaster shocked or haunted you the most in today's list? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and see you again in the next one.